Hey, welcome back to Matt's Garage DIY. Today, we're going to make ourselves a shooting bench. So before we go any further, safety first, using a bolt action rifle, bolt has been removed. You are going to want to use some sort of rifle as you build this bench. Just make sure that you're doing that safely. So today the project is building a shooting bench. Looked online a little bit, found some info, but not a ton. I don't claim to be an expert, but I like building stuff and thought I'd show you guys what I kind of found, what I figured out. I'm not going to show every single cut and every screw that I put in, but I'm going to try to show the important measurements that I found and just kind of some quick shots of the project as it progresses. So to figure out the measurements, I started with a folding chair and a coffee table. Standard seat height is between 17 and 18 inches. Coffee table height, or card table height, not really sure what the height of that is, but too low, which I'll show you right now. So when I get behind the rifle, really having to kind of crouch down, sort of flatten my back to kind of get in behind that. Very uncomfortable position to shoot from. So we're going to start building this up with some plywood. From what I read, they said, or online, I was seeing guys were saying 32 to 34 inches. So we'll build this up and see how it goes. All right, so I built this table height up. We're now at 33 inches. So now, kind of squaring myself up behind the rifle, that's much more comfortable. I'm still able to get square behind it. This is far more comfortable for my neck and just the overall positioning to be able to shoot through that. So table height, I'm going to go with 33 inches. Seat height, probably 17 and a half. Kind of split the difference on both of those. This feels like a very good, comfortable height for both the seat and for the bench. Next measurement that I found that was critical or was important for me was the distance kind of from the front edge of the bench to the back of the seat. I ended up going with 21 inches. The seat that I'm actually building won't have a back on it, but I found 21 inches was a good distance. Allows you to sort of slide forwards or move back on that seat, kind of depending if you're taller or shorter. You know, if you've got a few different people using this bench, allows to sort of accommodate that. But you're looking for 21 inches front of the bench, front edge of the bench, to the back edge of the seat. All right, for my bench, I want it to be towable. Certainly does not have to be, and the dimensions or the measurements I'm providing will work if you're just building a solid standing bench. I do a lot of shooting out at the farm. I basically have a backstop built and have to sort of move my bench closer or further away. So I wanted something that was towable. I can just kind of tow it behind my truck or behind an Argo or whatever you got. You can even use a lawn tractor, but it just allows me to sort of move that bench, work through a bunch of different distances much easier. I don't really have the option of sort of building a shelter in a bench and then kind of changing the distance of my backstop. So I don't have to do that. These measurements will still work. So as you can see, this is my seat. I've just used kind of some hockey sticks on there, run them forwards and backwards. That way, if you're sliding forwards and back, kind of adjusting yourself a little bit, easy to do that. Got a little frame here that I welded up, super easy to do. And then just picked up a couple old spare tires from the scrapyard, some hubs online, bolt that all together, and then we'll put the bench on. All right, next is the bench itself. This is all a little wobbly right now. I don't have this bolted together, just still building it, so just kind of set in place. Top of your bench. I have gone 3 feet wide, 36 inches wide. Gives me room to have whatever notepad, ammo, spotting scope, all that kind of stuff up here and not be too crowded. And then the front to back distance, I've made 32 inches. You want to make sure that the barrel of your rifle is sticking out past that. In this case, this rifle sticks out quite a ways past. I do have some 22s with shorter barrels that I've fooled around with some different scopes. I want to make sure that when I'm using those, the barrel is also past the end of the bench. So I've gone 32 inches front to back, 3 feet or 36 inches wide. So I've got the sides on, wheels are on. Just going to close in the front, and then I'll start working on building that inside shelf. So here's a quick look at the shelf inside. Enough room that I can get a 5-gallon pail in there, throw a pack in, whatever else. And then I have added just this little piece of 1x2 right across the front edge. It just helps to prevent things from sliding out while I'm moving the trailer around. All right, so here's a look at the final product. I've added a little edge around 3 sides of the deck itself just to prevent shells and that sort of stuff from rolling off. Built a little block that is removable. It's not screwed down, it's just sitting there. So if you wanted to put like a lead sled or something like that on top, you can certainly do that. Adjust that to whatever size of shooting bag that you've got that you're resting your rifle in. And then at the back, just built up this little block. If I don't have this connected to a trailer, got this block that I can just set the tongue on, throw it underneath on my storage shelf. So Nothing left now but to go test it out. All right, so we got a beautiful sunny Saturday morning out here at the farm. Brought the shooting bench out. We're gonna give it a try. I'm gonna run through 3 different rifles, one with a scope, one with iron sights, and then one with a tripod that's attached to the front. Not really to show you my accuracy. I don't claim to be a great shooter. This is more just kind of the mechanics of the bench and to demonstrate how well that's gonna work. Now when I switch to iron sights, this is a little bit low. I'm just gonna lift that off. Pre-cut some chunks of plywood, put those on. There you go. Much more comfortable height for shooting an iron sight. Now I've got an SKS with a bipod mounted on the front. This is a very long setup. Most bipods are not that far forwards. But you know what, based on the way this is built, the ability to kind of slide yourself back on that seat, nicely able to kind of get in behind the rifle, get that sight picture. No problems at all. All right, there you have it. There's a look at my DIY shooting bench. You can either build this as a solid unit or towable like I've done with this one, but very easy to kind of throw something together like this and really nice for sighting in those rifles. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, be sure to click that like and subscribe button. Stay tuned for my next video.